Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you're watching this video from. My name is Oluyemi Orija and I am your startup lawyer. And today I've given a post before and introducing us to today that we'll be starting a series today. And the series is about a topic that most people don't want to hear about. It's a topic that most business owners don't even want to hear about. I mean, they always think if you're talking about taxation, you want to reap my profit out of me. You want to take all that belongs to me, all that I'm working for the government, or I'm working and somebody else is taking my profit. But I want us to be very objective. I want us to be very open-minded. I want us to want to learn, want to relearn and unlearn about this topic. So today we are just doing an introduction to the topic, and the introduction is I'm going to be telling us what taxation really is and why the government is entitled to get this taxation from these taxes, different taxes, from us as individual and from us as a corporate organization. So the first question I should ask is, what is taxation? I mean, taxation is the imposition of compulsory, underline that word, compulsory levy on individuals, entities, corporate organizations by the government. So the only body that is entitled to collect tax from anybody, from any organization, is the government, whether at the local level or at the federal level or at the state level. So I've stated what taxes is or what taxation is all about. So the question that comes to mind is, why would anybody want to collect this thing from me, right? So so the government in Nigeria, so I would be particular about Nigeria, and in Nigeria we have the federal government, we have the state government, and we have the local government. There are some taxes that is collected by the federal government. That is, if you own a company in Nigeria, you are to pay your company income tax to the federal government. That is through its agency called the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Now, Federal Inland Revenue Service they have their offices everywhere in Nigeria. Every local government in Nigeria has a FIRS office. So as a business entity, you are to remit your company income tax to that office, and you have to remit your value added tax, that is VAT, to that office as well. So it's the federal government that collects VAT, it's the federal government that collects company income tax, it's the federal government that collects education tax, it's the federal government that collects petroleum tax. We have a lot of taxes in Nigeria, as a matter of fact. People have talked about double taxation. People have said, why should we be paying this, paying that, paying that? Maybe in the course of this series, I would ensure that we would explain in details to you why some of these taxes are collected. And as a matter of fact, some people have been cheated in the past where they had paid what they are not entitled to pay. So at the end of the day, education is key. And what I mean education, I mean informal education, like what we are talking about. We have tax experts in Nigeria that can tell you more about taxes, and there is the legal side to taxation as well, which we are going to be talking about in the course of this series. So today I'm telling us the agencies that collect tax. So I've talked about the FIRS, and they are everywhere in Lagos. You pay your federal your company income tax and your value added tax to that organization, or to that agency rather. Then coming to the state level, every state in Nigeria, 36 states of Nigeria, have their own taxes that they also collect, and they collect it through their Board of Internal Revenue. So all the states in Nigeria has that. In Lagos State, where I am based, we have the LIRS, that is Lagos State Inland Revenue Service. That board collects taxes, personal income tax, from everybody that resides in Lagos. So if you work and reside in Lagos, your tax is going to be paid to LIRS. So that is your personal income tax. It has nothing to do with business right now, but some other way it has something to do with business, which we'll also talk about in the course of this series. And importantly, the local government is like the I mean, the body that most people dread in Lagos. If you open any shop, they are coming to knock at your door. Like, you are supposed to pay so developmental fee. You are going to pay lots of levies, So they always come year in, year out and ask you to pay this money. Unfortunately, most business owners want to sort those officers that comes to their shop so that they won't come again, which is actually not the right thing to do. Don't bribe. Do the needful, because if you bribe, what if that officer is no longer there, right? So do the needful, pay what you have to pay, and most of the time it's always a token. When they look at the organization, they look at, oh, this place is big and they want to charge you one big money. Say no. You want to understand it. You want to know how much. It shouldn't be by the size of your business. So there's a way you go about. So as a business owner, you need to know all these things. It is very key. Else you'll be paying lots of money to places where we are not supposed to be paying. So those are the things we want to talk about in the course of this series. So I haven't talked about the agencies and the bodies that are entitled by law to take taxes from us. The next thing I want to talk about is, why should you even pay tax? As a business owner, why should you pay tax? Okay, so the first thing is, depending on the sector you operate, there are some sectors that before you start operation every year, you must collect license or renew license every year. Every year you must renew your license to operate. So in sectors like that, when you are renewing those licenses, one of the requirements to renew your license is your tax clearance. So if you've not been paying tax, renewal of license is going to be difficult as a business owner. And so you don't want to continue operating without license. Anybody can come in anytime and shut your door, and that is obstructing your operation, and that is reflecting in your books and is affecting your profit and your turnover. So as a business owner, you have to look at the bigger picture. Like, okay, is it not better for me to just do this thing, pay this 10,000, 5,000, 20,000, 50,000, so that I can have a free operation without hindrance, without obstruction from anybody or organization, instead of bribing and they coming over and over again. So you have to look at the bigger picture when you're taking these decisions. So like I said, if you are renewing your license in any sector that you operate where you require a license, example of that is those that are into clearing and forwarding, those that are into shipping, those that are into cosmetics. If you own a cosmetics line and you have NAFDAC number, all those things, you need to keep renewing. And the requirement of them is one of the requirements rather is this payment of taxes and all that. So you need all these things. That is one. Secondly is, as a brand, as a business owner, you want to work with bigger brands. You want collaboration with bigger brands. You want partnership with bigger brands, right? And I want to tell you something for sure, that there's no blue chips company that want to work with you as an SME. That want to work with you as a startup that would not require documentation. Now, documentation it's something that tells me, or tells the person that wants to hire you, or that tells the person that wants to partner with you, that you're doing business well. So if you have documentation, if you have your tax clearance, they want to say, oh, you have tax clearance for the past 3 years, you are a responsible person. You are responsible and you're doing business right. Thereby, I want to collaborate with you. I want to partner with you. So those are the things that gives you room to partner with people that are, bigger brands, bigger organizations. You want to have contracts with them. You want to work for them and get paid. Now, I'll use myself as an example. My firm, Hertford Chambers, we've worked with Access Bank, because we recover debt for Access Bank. So in the course of that, when we got that deal, they might not even ask you for much. They might only ask you for maybe your incorporation documents that you registered your company, and get you check your profiles. They will ask you for all of these things. But when you're done working, or when it is time for them to pay you, then they start asking you for lots of things that you did not even expect. They will ask you for your TIN number, ask you for your tax certificate, ask you for your incorporation. They want to know whether the directors are who came to them as directors. You know, they will do all that they have to do before they drop their money into your account. So as a business owner that you are looking forward to this is another advantage for you to pay your tax. Payment of tax is not negotiable. As a matter of fact, it's even a criminal offense. If you evade tax, if you avoid tax, it's a criminal offense. So, and we go to court every day and we see LIRS, most especially LIRS, bringing organizations to court for evading tax. Most of them, of course, they will settle out of court, they will want to pay, but at that time it might not be convenient for them. So something that maybe they have charged you, say 500,000, and it is something you should have been paying maybe 50,000 naira every year, but you have defaulted, say for 5 years. They might not get you for 5 years, 10 years sometimes. Then they will come and write to you and tell you, okay, pay so one huge amount of money. Maybe at that time it is not convenient for you and your business to even pay, but you have no choice because you are also dreading to go to prison. Right? So you would do all you would have to. Some people borrow to pay taxes. You don't want to find yourself in all those situations. So the best thing is, do the needful as and when due. Yearly, get your books right, prepare your books, pay your tax. I tell people, okay, we have a client in our firm who he's not a Nigerian, and he's been doing business in Nigeria for almost 10 years now. He's been paying tax in his head, but he contracted a wrong person. What I mean a wrong person, somebody that duped him. So the guy is a consultant. He calls himself a tax consultant. So they hired him. He prepares their books. He tells them he has paid, and he's been bringing forged documents to them. So to them, they thought they had been complying with everything that they had to comply with. Unfortunately, just recently, less than a month ago, they got a letter from FIRS stating that they've not been paying tax for 10 years, and they're asking them to pay 29 million naira as tax. So we are still on it. We're trying to, first of all, give us time. So we as an organization, we have written, as a law firm rather, we've written to FIRS to give our client time to put their books together and ensure that they will do the needful, right? So they've given us time, and we're working on how to put his books together and let him pay what he has to do while we go to court against this man. We are still looking for him. We haven't seen him, the consultant. So that's another story entirely. So at the end of the day, the time they will bring this thing, you might be in default for 5 years, for 10 years, and they won't know. And you think that I'm smart. I can't pay this. I've seen people tell me that I'm a smart person. They won't get me. Or some people will say I use the wrong address. Oh my goodness. Tax authority will get you when they want to get you. One thing you don't even know is that there are some places you're paying to, because there's something we call withholding tax. Now, I will still explain all these taxes, but I want us to understand why we should even pay tax in the first place. I want us to understand the fundamentals. Sometimes it is in the next 20 years that this thing start playing back, right? So there's something we call withholding tax. Withholding tax is a tax you pay. For instance, I am a law firm and I'm working with you. Maybe somebody is owing your company and we want to help you recover that debt. Now, don't let me use that example. Let me use another example. You want to buy a property, or you want to rent your office rent. Office rent right now. You want to pay for your office rent. Normally, a commercial property is, you have to deduct withholding tax. Say for instance, say your rent is 500,000. You are not supposed to pay in full to your landlord. You're supposed to remove your withholding tax, which is 5% of that amount. That's 5% of 500,000 naira. I think that's about 2,000. I'm not sure. Maybe it's 2,500 naira, something like that. No, 25,000 naira. 5% is 25,000 naira. So you're supposed to pay your landlord short of 25,000 naira, and then you remit 25,000 naira to FIRS as a withholding tax. Now, when you are paying that money to FIRS, they want to know from which company did you get it from. So you would put the TIN number of the company you took that 25,000 naira from. So sometimes you would not even know that some people are paying some taxes on your behalf, right? So as a company, why you are not remitting anything to the government is seeing that some people are paying taxes on your behalf. That way they use those information to trace you, right? So it is only when they are not ready to work. But when they are ready to work, especially when you have made it, when you have hit the big deal, they will get you and you will pay. And that time you will pay hard. So why not just do the things appropriately? So I always urge people, please try to pay your taxes. Please try to do the needful. That way it's not even a lot of burden on you. If you put your mind to it, it's not really a lot of burden on you compared to when they come to you and start harassing you up and down. So that's that on FIRS and how they come to you and how they harass you and why you should pay your taxes. So it helps you to it helps people to see that you're doing business intentionally. It helps people to see that you're serious with your business. It helps bigger brands to want to collaborate with you. It also helps your standing. It helps your standing. It helps your identity. It helps your, how do I say, your integrity as an organization. When they come, they ask you for this, you are able to present it. They know that this person is serious. You cannot do nonsense with this person. So that way, nobody is even coming to harass you because you know your left from your right. You understand all these taxes and you know what you are supposed to pay and what you are not supposed to pay. So it's very important. As much as you don't want to bother yourself as a business owner, because I know you are concentrating more on the operations of your business rather than how do I pay tax and how do I do this. That's why you have to contract some of these things out. If you can't do it, contract it out. If you can't contract it out, if you want to monitor it, get somebody who is an expert in that area. Hire them as employee. Let them do this work for you. Because you can't but do it. It is compulsory. When I was defining taxation, I said underline the word compulsory. Compulsory. It is compulsory. So that's it. So on taxation, we have company income tax. Company income tax is a tax paid by a company that is registered as a limited liability company. Limited liability company is different from the normal enterprise most small businesses register. So when you register as a limited liability company, you pay tax. Now, there's a new law that was passed into law this year, January, Finance Act. That act had said that if your turnover is less than 25 million naira per annum, you will not pay tax. You will not pay company income tax. You will not pay VAT. You will not even charge VAT. You will not remit VAT. So, meaning of turnover is all the money that came into your account, plus cost, plus profit, plus everything, all the money that came into your business in the space of 1 year is less than 25 million. If it is less than 25 million, then you are not even entitled to pay tax at all. You would not pay company income tax at all. You will not charge anybody VAT. You will not remit it. You will not file it. So you've been exempted. But if your turnover, the entire money that comes into your business in the space of 1 year, is more than 25 million and it is less than 100 million, you would pay 20% of your profit as tax, as company income tax for that year. And if your turnover is more than 100 million, you would pay 30% of your profit, not of the turnover, of your profit as company income tax for that year. That is company income tax. Now we come back to personal income tax. Personal income tax is what you pay to the state where you reside. So one thing about personal income tax is for people that are registered as as an enterprise, what we call business name, is, you see, I've seen people say I won't register limited liability company because I don't want to pay company income tax. But what you don't know is that they see, because if you register your business as a business name, the business is the same as you. The business is the same person as you. So they believe that every money that comes into the business comes to you as a person. That way, your personal income tax is deducted. From that, from the whole of the money that comes into your business. So, for instance, if I'm paying salary, if I'm being paid salary of 50,000 naira, maybe the money I'm supposed to be paying as personal income tax is 1,500 naira. Now, if I'm the owner of that business and the business is registered as a business name, and I pay, and I made the entire money that came into my account is about, say, 5 million. Now, they assume that entire 5 million is mine, is my profit, because that organization is not a company per se. So they assume that it is me, and they are going to take my personal income tax, not based on the amount I'm paying myself, but based on the amount that comes into that business. So that's the difference. So people think that they are shielding away from taxes by registering a business name, but it's even worse. It's even worse. And now, for a limited liability company, you've been exempted from taxes with the new law. So if you're not making up to 25 million, but of course we all want to make more than 25 million. We all want to make more than that. So the liability to pay tax is always there. And I know that we are all striving every day to ensure that we make 100 million, 150 million, 500 million, 1 billion as turnover. So if that is what we're striving to be, why then don't you understand the basics of taxation, and why don't you want to comply by paying taxes? You have to. Sometimes these tax organization authorities would wait for you to make it. They won't come now. You are still in 125 square meter office. They won't come now. They will wait for you. So when you have now made it, they will cast your mind back to where you started and how you have been defaulting. They will now compile how much you've defaulted, and you'll be hearing million, then you are expected to pay it. So those are the disadvantages of you not paying taxes. You don't want to mess yourself up. You don't want to mess the business up. So it is better and very important that you do the needful. So that's personal income tax. Now there's value added tax. That value added tax has recently been increased from 5% to 7.5% through the Finance Act. That's the new law I talked about. So what is it about this value added tax? People really don't understand it. Okay, so you are, as a business owner, you're not the one paying it. It is borne by your consumers. So I run a law firm, and in my law firm we render services to people. That service we are rendering is vatable. So every service or goods that is vatable is where you pay VAT on. So legal service is vatable. So if I do a job for you for 100,000, I'm supposed to pay. If I'm charging you 100,000 for that job, I'm supposed to also charge you for VAT. So VAT is now 7.5% of 100,000. So I will give, if I'm giving you my bill of charges, it's going to be 100,000. Then you see that's professional fees, 100,000. Then you see VAT. You see VAT. Our VAT is 7.5%. So you calculate 7.5% of 100,000 and charge the person. So the person pays that money. That money, the 7.5%, is not your money. It's the government's money. So we as an organization, we take that money and remit it to FIRS. So VAT is paid on services or on goods that you render or that you sell. So if you are selling a product for 5%, so for 5,000 naira, the person that is buying must pay with VAT. That's 5,000 plus 7.5%. So lots of business owners don't charge VAT. And we are shortchanging ourselves by not doing this. Because at the end of the day, when you want to put your books together at the end of the year, you will pay VAT. So if you've not been charging your clients, you burn it from your own pocket. Government does not want to hear. It is even an offense for you not to charge. So you must charge, collect, remit, and file. So it's a lot of process. I understand that this is why a lot of people are not interested. So we would in subsequent classes, it might not be video like this, we are going to talk about much about all these taxes. We are going to talk about how you should pay them. We are going to talk about when you should be paid, because they all have period, and if you did not pay within that period, you are going to pay penalty. You're going to pay penalty. So that's it, So I would love to, hear questions about these subjects. If there's something that has been happening in your business around taxes, let's put up the questions to us. We are going to provide you answers, how you should go about it, like that. So thank you for joining this class. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have any question, just put it at the comment section of this video. I'm going to respond to it. Or somebody because I know that some lawyers still in our community, they would also be happy to join and answer your questions. So thank you very much and have a pleasant day.